So now we are going to validate this form. So for example, right now, no matter what I type in, if I type in something that doesn't make sense, or an email that's just fake, if I click on submit, it's still going to work. All right, so you see if I have an action here, for example, action, you see all of the forms have an action here. So action method, and it will take you to a process page. Let's say there is a process.php file. So whenever you click on submit, you see that it's going to go to that file, which I don't have right now. So I don't have a file called process.php, but now you see my data is being sent. So now, even if I type in something that doesn't make sense, still it's going to submit that data and send it. So this is not what we want. We want to stop the user if this is empty, for example. And to do that, we are going to validate the form using JavaScript. Before I go forward with JavaScript, you see that I have the opening of the form, and I have given it the ID of my form. And you see on submit, I said on submit. So whenever I click on submit, it's going to return this function, which is called validate form. So this function, we still don't have this function, but we will make one. And you see I still have my JavaScript file linked to the HTML. So let's go to the JavaScript file and let's make this function. So I'm going to copy this from here, and I'm going to basically say function, and then you type in the name of the function and open two parentheses. So you see function validate form, and this function will validate our form. All right. So inside of this function, we are going to select our input fields. You see I have two input fields now. You see I have name with the ID of name, and I have the email with the ID of email. So let's store these inside of two different variables. Constant email equals to document.getElement by ID email. All right. And constant name equals to document.getElement by ID name. So we have stored these inside of these variables, but we are trying to get the value of the input field. And do you remember in the previous video, we used the dot value. So dot value, all right? So you type in name dot value because we want to store the value inside of these variables. I hope that this makes sense now. Now, right here, we can make an if statement. So to add a condition, we type in if, and then we open two parentheses and two curly braces. So now we are going to check if our email is empty. So I'm going to type in the name of the variable, email. So if our email is equals, so three equal signs, all right? And you make sure that there is no space between them. So three equal signs, and then you add an empty string. So this is empty now. So you see, if there is nothing, we are going to tell the user that the email should be fixed. And to do that, I'm going to add a span element here. So right after this, I'm going to add a span with the ID of email span, all right? So email span. I'm going to keep it empty for now. So let's store this span inside of a variable. So I'm going to make a variable outside of this function. So I'm going to say let email span equals to document dot get element by ID, the email span. All right, I just want to have that there, and I'm going to add one to, this will be the email, so just this should be here, and I'm going to add a span for the name as well. So I'm going to say name span. So name span. So you see I have two span elements. So I have the span for the name and span for the email. So I'm going to do that as well. So let name span equals to document dot get element by ID name span. All right, so I have these two here. So if the email is empty, we are going to set the email span. So email span dot inner HTML. We are going to set it to the email should not be empty. So it should not be empty. So the email should not be empty. Just add something there. Okay, and now let's try this one. So we are going to try our code and let's see if it's going to work. If you don't add this line, so it will always should say return false. It means stop here, don't do anything else, just stop it. So now if I click on submit, you see it's going to change the span inner HTML to the email should not be empty. However, if I type something in, all right, if I click on submit, you see it's going to send it. But now if it's empty, and if I click on submit, it's going to say the email should not be empty. So this is what we want. So far, this is working the way we want. You see, it's changing the text to the email should not be empty, and it's stopping the form from sending the data or process it. So it's not processing the data. Now, what we are going to do is we can make another if statement. So I'm going to say else if. So in this condition, we are going to say name if name is empty. So if name is empty, we can say please enter a valid name. So I'm going to set the name span. So name span dot inner HTML equals to two quotations, and I can say enter a valid name. Okay, so what if I don't type a name here? You see it's going to say the email should not be empty if I type in something here. But you see that my second one did not work because I'm not adding the return false. So I'll make sure that I copy this after this one as well. So now if I click on this, you see it's going to say the email should not be empty. And now it says enter a valid name. So you see we are changing our HTML based on what we type in. So let me type in an email, and if I click on submit, it's going to say enter a valid name. Just enter a valid email. Where does it say enter a valid name? Yeah, it says a valid name, but this should be, let me add a break here. That's why it looks weird. So let me add a break here. So BR, and I'm going to add a BR here as well. So we want to push the span below this element. So now it will look better. So if I don't add something, you see it says the email should not be empty. Okay. Click on submit. Enter a valid name. You see it says enter a valid name. I should add a break there as well. So let me just enter it again. You see, this is how you validate. So now it says enter a valid name. You enter a valid name, you submit it, and then it processes it. So now with this, we will be able to add more conditions. So you see we have the span here. We are changing it to the email should not be empty, and we are going to the next line. And we are doing the same thing for this one as well. So says enter a valid name. What if someone adds a space here? For example, space Adam. Is that a valid name? Well, let's see if it's going to work. So let's add an email here and click on submit. You see, it still processes it. So we can trim this. So we can say dot trim. So this will basically remove spaces from our input fields. So you see, it's going to remove the leading and trailing white spaces from the strings. So now let's try this. So let's keep it empty. I'll keep the name empty, but I added some spaces there. So asd@asd.com and click on submit. You see it says enter a valid name. Even though I have added some spaces, you see this trim is preventing the user from entering something that doesn't make sense, like empty spaces. And this trim is used by Facebook when you make a post. If you add some spaces, your post will not work. So that's how it works. They have this trim used, all right? And I know that I'm not paying too much attention to the styling right now. For example, if I click on submit, you see it adds the message here instead of here, but I'm not paying much attention to the font size and the look of the UI. I'm just showing you how to use JavaScript to validate your forms. So now what if we want to prevent the user from entering a specific word? Well, we can still do the same thing. For example, for the name, let's say that we don't want to say the word darn. So if you don't want that, you can copy this line basically and just place it right below it. So it's the same thing, and you add the word darn there. So let's say this word, we don't want it. So if the name is darn, we are going to say that word is not allowed. So now if I click on submit, you see it's going to say the email should not be empty. So I'm going to enter an email there. And if I click on submit, it's going to enter a valid name. What if I type in darn? And if I click on submit, it's going to say that word is not allowed. All right, so you see we can add this word here. So now, what if we type in DARN like this? Do you think this is going to go through? I believe it's going to go through because it does not match this exact thing. So if I click on submit, you see it's still going to send that word just because we have used the capital D at the beginning. So to fix this, right here we're going to say dot to lowercase and open two parentheses. So this will basically convert all of the alphabetic characters in the string to lowercase. This means that it will, whatever I type in, is going to turn it into lowercase. So what's happening is that even if I type in DARN, you see just like that, I have changed some characters. So if I click on submit, you see it's going to say the email should not be empty. If I type in an email, still sends it. So we have set the first one to lowercase, and we are going to do the same thing for this one to lowercase. All right, so dot to lowercase. Now, if I type in DARN just like that, and if I click on submit, it's going to say enter an email. So I'll add an email here, and it's going to say that word is not allowed. So you see, even though I have changed the characters, but because I'm setting the characters to lowercase, and now it matches whatever I type in. So it matches this condition. Therefore, it's going to say that word is not allowed. So this is it for this video, everyone. Of course, you can do much more. For example, when I click on submit, I can change the color to red or change the CSS style, but I'll do it in the next videos. So for this video, I'm gonna stop here.